In this video, I wanted to go over the birth chart, the Vedic birth chart of lottery winner Sharon Brown. She had won $35 million back in October 1996. And so, going over, looking at any birth chart, you always want to see the static potential of an event. And so, this, when it comes to money, you want to see if there's a static potential for winning the lottery in this case. So, by the fact that she has two of the greatest benefics, Jupiter and Venus, associated with opulence and wealth in the 11th house of large gains, that is the primary reason or indication of great wealth here. Okay, having the two benefics in this 11th house of large gains and wishes. And so from this alone, you can make a strong assumption that this person would somehow be rich in their life and come into great wealth if the right dashas were activated. Now, another big indicator of great wealth is that Venus is in this 11th house of large gains as the second lord of money. So this combination is one of the best, if not the best, wealth-giving dana yogas. And another good indicator of her winning the lottery can be seen by the fact that Mars is her first lord of self, representing her and her identity. And Mars is also the eighth lord of lotteries in her chart. And that is conjunct Saturn, the 11th lord of large gains, in the fifth house of speculation and lotteries. So just having this combination really pinpoints the fact that she could win through lotteries speculation. Now, she also has an exalted sun here in her birth chart, and sun is her sun here is her fifth lord, but it's exalted in her first house, and again, sun is the fifth lord. And when a planet is exalted, it is its highest strength a planet can be. And so again, there's this connection here to her identity and speculation because it's the fifth lord. Okay. So this specifically ties her to a lottery win. And this combination also creates a status-giving Raja Yoga and wealth-giving Dana Yoga, both by placement. So having Sun, the fifth lord, in the first house creates this wealth-giving Dana Yoga and Raja Yoga by placement. Now, if you take it a step further, you'll notice that Sun and Mars here are they're in a planetary exchange known as a Parivartana Yoga. And so this also strengthens Sun and Mars. And again, this is a really big deal in her case because this is strengthening the first and fifth houses, which again have to do with her identity, her path in life, and it's linking it to fifth house of lottery games, speculation, gambling. Okay. So now also looking from the moon chart, this same exalted sun is now in her 11th house of large gains. So that's also very, monumental. And again, a very powerful indicator of great wealth, having the sun exalted in the 11th house. The other smaller indicators are that Saturn is her 11th lord, and it happens to be in a good wealth-giving nakshatra, Purva Falguni. And her Rahu is in another good wealth-giving nakshatra called Uttara Bhadrapada. And Uttara Bhadrapada happens to be ruled by Saturn. And again, Saturn is the 11th lord of large gains. And lastly here in her chart is that Rahu, again, is in Uttara Bhadrapada, which when we look at Rahu, we have to look at the dispositing planet, which is Jupiter in this case. And Jupiter is the ninth lord in the 11th house, conjunct second lord Venus. So again, it's just connecting it's creating basically Dana Yogas, okay? And those are necessary for good wealth. Now, again, this was kind of the static potential, assessing the static potential in her birth chart. Then what has to happen is the right dashas in transit have to trigger the event. So in terms of the dashas, she was in her K2 Jupiter dasha. And here we see that K2 is being disposited by Mercury in the second house of money, income, and finances. So this definitely activated the themes of wealth, because again, K2 is being disposited by Mercury, which is in the second house. Now, the sub period, which dwindles down, it makes things. The sub period obviously is a shorter period, so that's the period she was in Jupiter. And so Jupiter again is in the 11th house of large gains. It's conjunct Venus, the second lord. And so this sub period is majorly activating that big Dana yoga that I mentioned at the beginning when assessing her static potential for big wealth. Now, from her moon, this sub period of Jupiter is in the 9th house of luck and fortune, and it was activating another Raja and Dana yoga by placement, as Venus is there, the fifth lord in the 9th house. So again, for this event to occur, typically we need Dana yogas, Raja yogas activated during the sub periods, and they have to be, usually in good houses and in good strengths. So looking at the transits on that day, the time of the wind, she was actually going through her nodal inversion within 1 degree. So nodal inversion is basically when you have Rahu and Ketu in your natal chart, and then you have Ketu and Rahu, the inverse of that, transiting your nodal Rahu and Ketu. Okay, so it's like the inverse of that. So again, nodal inversions usually indicate a significant time, and it indicates karmic and fated events. And Rahu was transiting her 6th house, which is an Artha house of wealth, and Rahu trines. So Rahu was essentially trining her wealth Artha houses 2, 6, and 10. And Rahu magnifies things. So again, this was increasing the wealth. And Jupiter was transiting her 9th house of luck and fortune, and it was trining the Dharma houses, which are also auspicious and lucky, 1, 5, and 9. And so again, first house has to do with our path in life, our identity, our overall luck. And so, and 5th house has to do with, again, the speculation, lotteries, and gambling. And 9th house is the luck and fortune. So Jupiter was expanding those houses for her. And Jupiter was also aspecting her 1st house, like I said, the ascendant, and the 5th lord, moon, which again, 5th lord would be important here because it has to do with gambling and lottery games. And Jupiter was also aspecting her 5th house, like I said. So in there, she had the 1st lord, 8th lord, and 11th lord, all important money lords when it comes to lotteries. And lastly, Mars was transiting her 5th house of, again, speculation and gains. And there it was activating the 1st lord, 8th lord, and 11th lord. So again, these planets were magnifying or triggering, expanding all the money houses and money lords. But the important thing here is that in her natal chart, she had a really good potential. She had a really good chart to begin with, that would indicate wealth in her life. So hopefully you followed along and were able to extract some good information from this. I'm sure a lot of people watching this are curious to know if they have a good potential for wealth in their birth chart. And that is something I can assess if you book a basic birth chart astrology reading with me on my website. Otherwise, I have a yearly Vedic astrology reading available via email. So take a look at that on my website and leave me a comment and let me know what you thought of this video.